Before Kevin Costner married Christine Baumgartner in 2004 at his Aspen ranch, they signed a prenuptial agreement, as many people do when at least one of them is entering into the union having already made a fortune. But now, 4 months into their divorce proceedings, it's hard to pinpoint anything they've agreed on. Christine filed for divorce on May 1, citing irreconcilable differences as the reason for the split, as did Kevin in his response filed the next day. They both requested joint custody of their 3 children together, sons Caden and Hayes and daughter Grace. In a statement indicating Kevin's dismay that it had come to this, the actor's representative said, "It is with great sadness that circumstances beyond his control have transpired which have resulted in Mr. Kevin having to participate in a dissolution of marriage action." Kevin noted in his petition that he and Christine had a prenuptial agreement in place. The apparent peace lasted for about a month. But during that time, Christine was supposed to move out of the sprawling Carpinteria, Caliph, compound overlooking the Pacific Ocean where they'd been living as a family. According to the terms of their prenup, according to the filing, Christine had overstayed the 30 days the prenup gave her to vacate the 1.4-acre property, which Kevin bought in 1988, a decade before they became a couple. And this house is not to be confused with the nearby 10-acre stretch of undeveloped waterfront that Kevin mortgaged to finance his latest passion project, Horizon, an American saga, a planned 4-film series about 1800s-era expansion in the American West. The move threw my accountant into AF King conniption fit, the Kevin told Deadline this past spring. But it's my life, and I believe in the idea and the story. The filing further stated that Kevin had paid Christine $100,000 when they first married and another $100,000 on their first anniversary, as he'd agreed to in the prenup, and she was also due $1 million after filing for divorce. The prenup guaranteed Christine $200,000 for a deposit on a new home, plus money for property taxes and homeowner's insurance for a year, the filing detailed, as well as $30,000 a month in child support. The filing further stated that Kevin had offered her thousands more to help with moving expenses, as well as an additional $38,000 per month on top of the agreed-upon child support payments. Kevin has acted in good faith, the filing stated, and has done everything in his power to make the transition as seamless as possible. In a declaration included with the filing, per NBC News, Kevin detailed how hammering out potential post-split living arrangements had been a priority for him before they ever swapped vows. "I was married once before," the actor stated, "and, upon separation, found myself without a home base and unable to live in my own home. I never wanted this to happen again. Because of the nature of my work, I am frequently out of town. It is therefore particularly important to me that when I am home, I have a home to go to." Kevin met Christine at a golf course in the early 90s but didn't start dating his future second wife until 1998 after running into her at a restaurant. "We exchanged numbers, and I told her that I would. Did she mind if I called her in 2 weeks?" he later told People. "I did not realize that was like an insult to a woman." Before they wed on September 25, 2004, the declaration continued, "Made it clear to her that I would not marry again without clarity that my separate property residences would remain mine to live in no matter what happened in our marriage. Christine acknowledged to me at the time that she understood the importance of this to me and she agreed to this provision." Calling the legal basis for Kevin's request to vacate all but non-existent, Christine's attorney John Riddle countered in a June 14 court filing, obtained by Insider, that the actor was seeking to kick Christine and their 3 children out of the house that the children have lived in for their entire lives. A week after the proceedings first publicly took a turn for the complicated, Christine requested $248,000 per month in child support. Caden, Hayes and Grace Costner were used to an exceptionally high standard of living, and a forensic accountant had so far determined that Kevin's monthly cash flow amounted to upward of $1.5 million, her lawyers stated in court documents filed June 16 in Santa Barbara Superior Court. "I realize that our lifestyle is extraordinary. Kevin stated in a declaration also filed June 16, per NBC. "I appreciate how very blessed we are to live this way. It's important to not only to provide a warm and comfortable home for our children but it also teach them family values and gratitude." She had been a stay-at-home mom since their eldest child, Caden, was born in 2007, Baumgartner stated, and her marital lifestyle, including that of the children, was consistent with Kevin's long-term exceedingly high income. "My primary goal is to make sure that the children continue to thrive, and when they are with me, to live in a home and lifestyle that is at least somewhat comparable to that of their father." The requested amount may seem high, her attorneys acknowledged in their June 16 filing, but her request is in accord with California statutory and case law. This is precisely the type of case that demands an upward deviation so that the children will at least approach the standard of living of their father. Christine stated in her declaration that she hadn't touched any of the money Kevin had previously paid her as dictated by the prenup, alleging his goal was to get me to tap into this money, so he can argue that I've waived my right to challenge the premarital agreement. Aside from that money, Christine said she had $50,000 in the bank and no other assets or income. Pushing back against the $248,000 child support request, Kevin's lawyers called the amount highly inflated and unsubstantiated in a June 28 court filing obtained by E! News. Providing the minor children with more than bare necessities does not require providing ludicrous extravagance designed to primarily benefit the supported parent, the filing stated. It further alleged, Christine allocates 60% of expenses such as private trainer, unallocated credit card expenses, and her plastic surgery to the minor children without any explanation or basis. The children do not use the services of private trainers, only Christine does. The plastic surgery expenses of $188,500 per month belong to Christine, not the children. The filing continued, Christine spent considerable amounts of money on herself and on persons other than our children and for purposes that have nothing to do with our children. This would include, for example, Christine's clothing and jewelry purchases, spa treatments and personal care and gifts to friends and family members. Reps and lawyers for Kevin and Christine have not responded to E! News requests for comment. Kevin's gross cash flow available for support each month was not the $1.5 million Christine's forensic accountant arrived at, but rather $123,620, the June 28 filing stated.
Calling Kevin's Yellowstone earnings as a star and executive producer a complete aberration and once-in-a-lifetime event, the filing detailed that for 30 months, through June 30, 2023, his average cash flow was $1.31 million, but without the show it was $468,136. Testifying at a hearing September 1, per Fox News Digital, Kevin said that he was offered $24 million to do Season 5, 6 and 7 of Yellowstone, but negotiations broke down, mainly over scheduling conflicts with his Horizon project, and the hit show will instead end after the upcoming second half of Season 5. Meanwhile, Kevin extended an offer of $51,940 per month, plus 100% of the kids' health insurance, private school tuition for Grace, the only child who will need it, extracurricular activities, hunting club fees and Caden's car expenses, according to the June 28 filing. In an August 24 court filing obtained by E! News, Costner's attorneys state that Christine's lawyers rejected that amount and countered in a July 5 filing with $217,300. On July 12, a judge temporarily awarded Christine $129,755 in monthly child support. Kevin, in turn, accused Christine in the June 28 court filing of purposely trying to paint him in a negative light and to create a sound bite for the media to pick up, according to Yahoo. The media did pick it up, for our children to read. According to Kevin's account in the filing, Christine told him a month before she filed that she wanted a divorce. He did not, he recalled, but agreed at the time to tell the kids together once they decided what to say. But she would not commit to saying to our children that she would be moving out, Kevin stated, and as the weeks went by he tired of being in limbo, and instructed his lawyer to file for divorce on May 2. Christine's attorney got a heads up from his counsel, and Kevin arranged for a video chat with his kids on April 30th. He broke the news over FaceTime from St. George, Utah, not Las Vegas, he stated in the filing, which was not ideal, but this is the only way I could think of to avoid a conflict between us in front of our children. A minute order obtained July 6 by NBC News noted that a judge had denied Christine's request to have her move-out deadline extended to August 31 and ordered her to unconditionally vacate the Carpinteria house by July 31, and not July 13, as Kevin requested. Christine has since leased a residence for $40,000 a month, according to the August 24 court filing, in which Kevin's attorney argued the actor, having already paid $105,000, shouldn't be ordered to pay any more of his future ex-wife's legal fees because her claims to be unable to afford them were not credible. The filing noted that Christine testified in an August deposition that her brother gave her $80,000 for her security deposit and first month's rent, and her current boyfriend gave her $20,000. Kevin's lawyers accused Christine of waging relentless jihad against Kevin's character by alleging he's refusing to pay sufficient child support, per an August 30 court filing obtained by E! News. Calling her subsequent support demand of $168,315 per month mind-boggling, the filing alleged Christine's claims were a smokescreen to deflect attention from her lack of candor regarding her own financial situation. In court on August 31, Christine testified that family friend Josh Connor had given her $20,000. But he was not her boyfriend, she said, per Fox News Digital, and she gave $10,000 to her mother and returned the other half to Connor. She and Connor were photographed together in Hawaii in July, sparking romance rumors. Christine testified that it was a group trip and their daughters were best friends. The next day, Judge Thomas Anderley lowered Kevin's child support payment to $63,209, writing in his decision that anything greater would be disguised spousal support, per Fox News Digital. You know, when you have a life that long with somebody, there is no winner, and it's this big, crazy thing called life and how it unravels so quickly, Kevin told the outlet after the hearing. One minute you feel like you're on top of the world, and then you realize how vulnerable you are. Christine was an incredible mom, the Field of Dreams star added. We will figure it out and we'll share. We've just got to kind of convalesce right now. The pair are due back in court in November when Christine's challenge to the validity of their prenuptial agreement is set to go to trial.